Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today, I put together a brief little video on how I do my nails at home. And by no means is this video revolutionary. I'm not a professional, but I feel like I do a pretty decent job. I get complimented on the colors and just my nails all the time. And most importantly, it makes me feel good. I take pride in it and I really enjoy doing it. It's just that added little that makes me feel good about myself. And I take pride in knowing that I did it myself as well. Don't get me wrong, I love a good dip manicure. I love going to get my nails done. But knowing that you can do something that makes you feel good about yourself in the self-care space is empowering. So I hope that this video encourages you to step up your glam or even just your basic grooming self-care routine. Something that you typically don't do for yourself, but it makes you feel good, because why not? And it shouldn't have to be because of any special occasion that you're getting ready for. It can be something that you do for yourself on a daily, weekly, monthly, whatever cadence basis. And it's something that you can practice doing if it's something that you're not good at. I know for me, when I started to paint my nails, I wasn't the best at using my non-dominant hand. And over time, like with anything, I feel like I paint my fingernails pretty nicely with both hands. So yeah, I hope this video encourages you to learn something in the grooming, self-care, glam space that makes you feel good about yourself, and just do it. Why not? We don't have to be going anywhere. It doesn't have to be for any fancy occasion. If it makes you feel good, you should do it. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So this is what my hands looked like before. I had a French manicure that I actually did myself. I was pretty impressed because doing a French manicure is not easy, but that's my whole point. Like, you'll get better at it, you get a little bit more adventurous. So yeah, they looked pretty decent when I did them. I was impressed, but as of this point, they'd seen better days. So we're gonna go ahead and wipe off that hard work and do something different. I like to put down a piece of foil when I start, just because you don't want the acetone getting on whatever surface you're using, and it makes for an easier cleanup when you're done. Taking some nail polish remover, I really like this one because it takes off the polish so easily because it is 100% pure acetone. I personally haven't had any problem putting that onto my nails, but you can use whatever remover you like. Once the polish is removed, I trim my nails. I like to keep my nails pretty short, and I do cut them almost weekly, so I don't really have to take off too much, but I do try to take off whatever has grown since the last time. Then taking this double-ended nail grooming tool, I take the side that looks like a little shovel and I just go around the perimeter of my nail beds, pushing my cuticles back. Once I've gone ahead and pushed all my cuticles back, I like to take a cuticle cutter and trim any of that excess cuticle skin around my nail bed. So by pushing your cuticles back and then trimming away that excess skin, you're exposing more of your nail beds and giving it a more cleaner and groomed look. Also, if you don't have a cuticle trimmer or you don't feel comfortable doing this, you can totally skip this. I know I struggle with it a little bit too, but over the time now I've become addicted to taking my cuticles off, so I like to do it. Having your hands soaked during this time in some warm water helps a lot to soften the skin and the nail, which I clearly did not do, so do as I say, not as I do. And then lastly, to prep my nails, I like to take this 4-sided buffing block that tells you what to do and in what order to do it in. I really take my time in doing all 4 of these steps thoroughly around the surfaces of my nails. The better prepped your nail surface is, the better the paint will be and the better the result will be, so it's worth it to take your time and just make sure you get every nail properly. Fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number. Fueled by them to see the horizon. The last step on here is my favorite. It's the shine step, and this part, I don't know how it does it, but it really shines your nails to a point where it looks like you have clear polish on. And then after all that, I wash my hands because by this point they're pretty dry and dusty from everything we just did before. I purposely included this step because I wanted to show that you can totally stop here if you don't want to wear polish. Just apply some cuticle oil and you're good to go with some nice, clean, groomed nails. I, however, am going to carry on with polish, so I just washed the cuticle oil off, and I'm going to show you how I would continue with painting them. I first go in with the base coat. This is the one I use, and I just apply a thin layer. If you're like me and you've had a nail polish collection since the beginning of time and they still have product in them, just trust me, they're probably not as good anymore over the years. So as much as it pained me to replace my stash and just spend the money buying new ones, it was totally worth it. The fresh paint just glides on and it just makes such a big difference. I have really been liking Essie. Their color selection has really evolved lately, and more importantly, the brush shape is really helpful. See how the brush is slightly curved? This helps fit the natural curve of your nail bed, whereas a traditional brush will typically look like this. And while you can still paint your nails just as effectively, I like to make it a little easier for myself. I also find that the Essie brush is a little denser, and so it doesn't really leave brush strokes behind. I'm going to take this electric blue. It's in the shade Butler Please. I'm usually a white or like a cream colored wearer when I get my nails done, so I've been really surprised at how much I've been loving these vibrant colors lately. I always do about 2 coats or sometimes 3 depending on the opacity, and I always do very thin coats and layer it, otherwise it'll just be thick, it'll take forever to dry, and your chances of ruining the paint will be higher, and it'll just look thick and goopy and honestly just not as good. And during this, don't worry if you get it on your skin, we'll deal with that later. Lastly, I apply this top coat, which is also by Essie. I really love this. It brings the whole thing together. It not only adds so much shine, but it also really protects your nails from chipping. And then once my nails are pretty much dry, I go in and clean up wherever I touch the paint on my skin. This is optional as it'll come off on its own in about a day or 2, or especially in the shower, but for the sake of this video, I wanted to make them as presentable as possible. Till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. And there you have it. This is what it looks like inside, and then here's what it looks like in natural daylight.